We can zoom out to get a little better view. What exactly are we looking at? First, remember that we limited these clusters only to the closest matches, the ones over 90 centimorgans. That limit means that each match is probably related to you through one of your grandparents. Some of your closest matches, your aunts and uncles and first cousins, are related to you through two of your grandparents. The cluster diagram shows these relationships visually. There are several ways to read the diagram. Each row represents one of your matches. Each column represents a possible shared match to the match in the row. If the shared matches of the person in the row include the person in the column, then the intersecting cell is shown in color. Large square areas of color represent groups or clusters of people who mostly all match each other. In this example, a quick look shows that there are 4 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, where the first 2 squares overlap and the last 2 squares overlap. Each square represents matches who are related to this test taker through one of their grandparents. The overlapping areas represent closer relatives who match the test taker through 2 grandparents. Simple. These relationships are also shown numerically on the left side of the diagram, along with several other bits of data from the ancestry site. The shared centimorgans and shared segments columns are especially interesting. You can see that the matches in the overlap area here really do have higher shared centimorgans than the matches on either side. This diagram shows a common situation. From the shared centimorgans column, you can see that the matches in the overlap area have shared centimorgans in the range of 400 to 800 centimorgans. These are likely first cousins to the test taker. The matches on either side of the overlap area have shared centimorgan values in the range of 90 to 200 centimorgans. These are second cousins to the test taker. The overlap shows visually that the first cousins are related to both sets of second cousins, but the 2 sets of second cousins are not related to each other. With very little effort, this test taker now has isolated their matches related to each parent and to each of his 4 grandparents. Clustering doesn't tell you which cluster goes with which grandparent. You need to research that part, but often the research is easy. In this case, the test taker has some through lines, and the through line information is shown in the diagram in the Common Ancestors column. Here, these through lines suggest a specific pair of great-grandparents associated with some of the matches in this lowest cluster. If you can say how one person in a cluster is related to you, then you can suppose that everyone else in the cluster is related to you in a similar way. So all of the matches in this cluster are likely second cousins to the test taker through that same pair of great-grandparents. When you have unidentified clusters, those need more work. You can start by looking at the public trees for each match within the cluster. The type and size of each tree is shown on the left side of the diagram, along with a clickable link that will take you to that match in their tree. You might look for names or places that show up in several trees within the cluster. Those names or places might not yet be familiar to you. They are leads for further research. This approach is an excellent way to break through brick walls in your family tree. The left side of the diagram also displays other information that you have entered into your own Ancestry DNA results, including your notes and colored dot groups. The cluster diagram provides another way to view your research that you have already done.